Thinking of buying a Casita travel trailer? In this video, I'm going to talk about the three major groups of Casitas: the under 15,000, more than 15,000, and new. The great thing about Casitas is that they hold their value, and the bad thing about Casitas is that they hold their value. First off, let me tell you my Casita story. I'm not a complete Casita nerd, but I'm kind of on the edge. Going back to how it started, my boyfriend likes to look at boats and RVs for sale on Craigslist. He'd always show me these RVs, and I'm like, where would we put that? And I don't want to go around in a big RV, and told me about the Casitas and the Scamps, and told me that this would fit in our driveway. And then I started kind of shopping around a little bit. And then suddenly this Casita came for sale, and I knew it was under market. It was only $10,000. It was a 2001. Actually, it was a 16-footer. We're going to look at some of the pictures here in a second. I ran out and bought it, had that for about a year, learned that I love to go camping, and we were discovering all these great places just outside of where we live in Redding, California, which is way up in the north near Oregon. Started to love that, but then knew that there were some things missing with that one. I really wanted a TV, and I wanted a cabinet under the sink in the bathroom, and we wanted a real furnace. Ours didn't have a furnace. So we upgraded to a 2017, and that had the furnace and the TV with the really bad DVD player. And we still knew that we wanted a few other things, and we really liked the nice sink. We wanted the better wheels, all these little things we could have done on our own, and the floor was white. And the main thing I really wanted was a hitch. I know we could have put that on aftermarket, but it just seemed too cool to get a new one. So we broke down, and now we're on Casita number 3, the Shasta Gypsy. So let's get started and look at the under $15,000 Casita market. Occasionally you find a really good one for $15,000 and under, but you often find some pretty junky ones for $15,000, and some really bad modifications are super common. Here's I think it was a 2001. I might be wrong. It might be a little bit newer than that, but this is pretty typical of what you'll find. It had a little bit of yellowing here, and terrible oxidation, which you can buff out, but it's difficult to buff out. You can also get the Myers Marine or RV polish and use one of those electric buffer kits on your drill. And of course it can work, but quite often you might end up having to actually get new gel coat. We sold it for $15,000, sort of as is. I wanted to clean up the exterior, but we never did it. Here you'll see that the air conditioning is here and not on the roof, which is fine. I have no issues with that, but I think part of it is that it's a 16-footer, and the closet was much smaller. Here she is right here. It kind of had this like little thing here because the air conditioning was over there. And we put the floors in, and that seems really simple, and you'll look at these videos online. Tearing out the carpet was a lot of work. It's not an easy job. Here are the older hinges, and I really don't like them. They're not great, but worst of all is this bad fabric. I'm going to show you some more of the different bad fabric options, these like psychedelic paisley. When it's all patterned like that, you can't use the new pillows that are so cute. You have to go with a solid pillow. And the 16-footer had this step up. Here it is right here. We had the Max fan. Everything worked great. And this is where I fell in love with Casitas, and I learned how much I enjoyed going outside and buying it for $10,000, which I knew was a bargain. We got to use it. I sold it for $15,000, so I made money. If you pay a decent price and maybe clean up the Casita a little bit, you should be able to sell it for what you paid for. And here's the bathroom, no sink. That bugged me. So let's now move on to the 2017, and it's so much better. Such an improvement. Look at this nice gel coat. It seems like when you go over 15,000, like the 2015s, 2016s, they're still wanting really good money for them, especially if they've done a few upgrades. And just keep in mind that these people had to pay several $1,000s to get them shipped wherever they were, or go through all the hassle of it. Had the nice solid gray cushions here. There's the TV. I really wanted the TV and the cable. I knew I could do it myself, but didn't want to go into the fiberglass. I wanted it factory installed. The TV sucked. Had this horrible DVD player. It just never operated right. Had a to do it all over again, I would have replaced it with the same Insignia TV that Casita is using right now. It works really great. There was also the microwave that I didn't care about. I'll try to get you some more photos of the fridge, but it's a 4 cubic foot fridge, and I'll show you our old fridge. There's our old fridge. I forgot to highlight that, but look how small that was. And I don't know if this was just a 16-foot issue. We'll look at some ads online. Yeah, it was great. It had a cabinet under the sink. I love that. Just the overall condition of it was great. I love the awning. I actually prefer that awning over the new one any day. And we were just thrilled to get it. We paid $24,500 for it. I think they were asking, I don't know, $26,000. We got like a $400 discount or $900. I can't remember what it was, but they wanted good money for it. It was November. We had to drive all the way to Eugene, Oregon from Redding, and that's like a 5-hour drive to get this. And it was November, and the people were really tight. A lot of the Casita sellers will not come down on their price much. They're just going to hold tight and wait. You're lucky if you get a person in a hurry. Like when I bought my $10,000 one, they had bought something else and they just wanted to unload it that day. Let's go back to my old one a little bit more too. I didn't show you this, but it didn't have the electric tongue jack. But still, when you look at our old one, it didn't have the wheels we wanted. It didn't have the hitch. We wanted a new sink. The new stove looked so much better. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was just great. Here it is on my Jeep. For Casita number 3, we wanted a new hitch. We wanted the sink. This is why we bought a new Casita. So come here. The sink is the main thing. Can you come over here? This beautiful sink. And then it's actually pretty spacious. It goes pretty deep. So it's much better. Yeah, although a lot of people aren't using that strainer. And then this is pretty cool. The stove, although there's an option where you can get it without a stove. But check this out. You're supposed to put it all the way up. We learned this in the Casita video. But you don't have to light it separately like the older ones. I think this came out just this 2024 newer. The TV is way, way better. I highly recommend getting the TV because you can hook up your computer when you have the table here. It's a smart TV and there's all these different apps, and then Tenna works great most places. And then here's the little shelf. This was an upgrade. I think it was kind of expensive, but I can't remember. One of the things I really like, which is on the 20, I don't think all the 24s, but is this cabinet. And our last cabinet leaked and this one doesn't leak at all. So that's super nice. I also love how the floors show less dirt, even though it doesn't look like this when I'm using my Shark Vac, which I just absolutely love. I will put a link in the description because I believe anyone with a trailer or an RV ought to have one of these. First off, let's look at the 15,000 and under category. Let's see what's for sale. I'm just going to go through Casita Hunter. You can go through Facebook Marketplace, but I'm just going to browse around, kind of show you what I'm telling you about the older Casitas. Here is one in Washington, and let's look at a 2015. Here we're going to see they want $20,000. Looks like it's in really good condition. They have some kind of special antenna there. Standard wheels. They've got the whitish floors. They've got that. Looks like a Spirit Deluxe. Nothing special otherwise, but looks like they've taken care of it. Possibly I would drive up there. This is actually a pretty decent one for being a 2006. They're asking $14,900. I told you about that. Kind of that $15,000 mark where people really don't want to go over that. But I don't know what they've done, if they've re-gel coated it, but it does have some upgrades here. And let's look at the pictures a little bit more. Bad fabric, not as bad as some of the other ones. And this one's kind of interesting. Look at that. They've got a sink at least, but it's yellowed. I've not seen this before, but these are the swivel chairs above the cabinets. But they've done this. Let's see what else is here. They've got the Katie's closet. Oh, and the beautiful fabric once again. The bigger fridge. Looks like they have the newer hardware. So this is an improvement. Not bad. Anyhow, just keep this in mind when you're looking. If you like to tinker a lot, you want to do a lot of mods, then getting an older one is the way to go. You can see here there is some oxidation. I think, I could be wrong, but you're not really seeing that shine right here. Although here you're seeing a shine, but it's really this part over here where the Casita gets hit really hard. If you want a budget one, look at this, 10,500. There are quite a few Casitas in Texas, obviously, been sitting outside. They didn't really care too much about it. And it's a 16-footer, but look at all the oxidation here. I don't think this one has a bathroom. Let's look and see what you get for over $15,000. This one is a 2016 16-footer. They want $20,499. Looks like a Spirit Deluxe. Can't quite see everything here. But you'll kind of see that unless the Casita's in really bad condition, it's sort of hard to find one for under $15,000. So that $15,000 market is just huge. And when I sold mine, like I said, had tons of people calling me. Here's a 2007, 15,500. Here is a 2019. This is in Arizona, and it was listed on August 6th. Some upgrades here. They've got a mattress. They've got the Katie's closet. They wax every year. Furnace. They've got the TV package. But still, they want $24,500. We could get about this same price for $30,000 on a 2023, 2024. And then this one. So a 2014. I've already looked at this one. They've got a mattress. Ooh. They've got the bathroom sink, however. Here's what I'm talking about with the bad fabric. And then this is the linoleum, although it's neutral and nice. It's not fun when you're out camping. It shows everything. Looks like this one does, I'm guessing, have oxidation. Doesn't have the electric tongue jack, which I've really enjoyed. The exterior condition of this one isn't great. And let's see what they're asking. Why am I not seeing it? They're in Buffalo, New York. People always forget to say where they are and how much they're selling it for, especially where they are. $22,500. Be careful, there are some scams. And here's a pretty nice one. This is a 2022. They did sell it, and that was 6 weeks ago. So they sold it pretty quickly. They were in Arkansas. Someone probably drove out there to get it. Over the past, 3 or 4 years, they've switched to this flooring. I think it's not quite the same as the one that I've got. This is the dark cushion, the bigger fridge. This is the 4 cubic foot. The new ones are 3. I think they must have done something here with their own DIY laminate. Not really sure. I don't think it looks that great. But they got the Katie's closet. So you would save some money here, possibly over buying a new one, especially when you look at this that they put on. That's pretty expensive. It's really nice. Maybe, at least $400 or so. When I compare this to getting a 2024 or 2025, they're so much nicer. I don't know. The other thing you have to look out for, I think it was around COVID when there was that big surge in Casitas and all the travel trailers, RVs and everything. There was a period where Casita couldn't get the lower profile air conditioning, the Mach 8, I think it is. And you'll see some of the other ones, some of them have the really high ones. I'm not sure if this is one or not. Here's another one, 2022. They want $28,000. That seems like a lot to me too. I guess I'm cheap. I rather just buy new. But if you live in the area where they are, it's $2 a mile to get the Casita shipped to you as of August 2024. It's going to cost you, at least where I was, $3,000 to get it shipped. And if it's someone nearby you, just factor that in when you are comparing buying a used one. This is in really good condition. Look how shiny that is. There are a lot of good reasons to order a 2024 or 2025 new Casita. Mainly, there's the felted wall option in gray and sand dune. Some of the other new upgrades are also the hitch, the mattress, frameless molded windows, slide-out battery. There are too many to name, as well as some of the standard features, but a lot of these upgrades you can actually finance now through Casita, and it's all included in your payment versus picking up your Casita and spending all the time and doing the modifications to get these things, which are pretty simple and should be, upgrades available. You can also customize your Casita a lot more by ordering just an all electric or all kind of propane option. There's also just quite a few other things, little things I appreciate: the bathroom LED light fan, the marine cabinet door, which doesn't leak, the chrome shower fixtures, the flooring. There's just too many different things to name. Plus, you can get the gray two-toned option, the gray on the bottom, and now you can get either blue or gray decals. You can also order the 15-foot Casita Patriot, which is a smaller version of the Casita Deluxe, and that's going to be smaller, lighter, and cheaper than any of their other models, which is great if you're just one person or two little people. One of the really neat things is Casita now offers a warranty for $1,500. It covers quite a bit. I'd highly recommend getting it. It was not offered when we ordered ours just even a few months ago. I think that I presented some of the pros and cons of each type of Casita, so let's think a little bit about what type of Casita buyer you might be. So who is a good new Casita buyer? This is obviously someone with the money. Maybe they want the upgrades like the hitch and the mattress financed in the purchase price. It reduces the need to make modifications, so maybe these are people that are super busy. They can pay for the shipping, or maybe they have the time to go pick it up. They want the latest and the greatest. Those would be new Casita buyers. Maybe they're going to keep it a long time. There's a lot of good reasons, a lot of good new things with the new Casitas. The over $15,000 buyers, these are people that maybe don't quite have the money to buy a new one. Maybe there's a local Casita that is nearby that they can just go pick up. They don't have to wait. They don't have to arrange to go to Texas or pay for shipping. Maybe they're not sure if they want to be a long-term buyer, or perhaps they want the larger fridge. These are plenty of good reasons to get one of those newer Casitas. Maybe 2015 and newer is what you can get for over $15,000 and under $28,000. For the over $15,000, you typically get the better flooring, sometimes the better fabrics. Make sure that you look for the oxidation and address that when you negotiate the price. There are typically electric, gas, dual water heaters, and they have the larger fridge, which is great, unless it's a 16-footer. For the under $15,000 buyers, it's good for someone that can't afford anything else. You can try out the Casita, see if you're going to like it before investing more. Maybe you've got a lot of decorating ideas that other people won't like. Gives you an opportunity to kind of go wild with your decorating. Or perhaps you want to tinker with mods, put a wrap on it. Maybe you're not buying for the long term. The problem with buying under $15,000 is that there's a lot of competition to buy. You typically don't have much negotiating room. There are often the bad fabrics, oxidation, yellowing of plastic, gas water heaters, lots of bad modifications, and getting the new cushion covers, unless you sew, it's going to cost you some money, and even the fabric alone is going to cost you about $200. Here are some tips for high resale. People tend to like the stock Casitas. Some high-end upgrades are okay, like installing a hitch, adding solar. Don't go wild on the decorating unless you plan on taking a discount. People like the Katie's Closet. Buy a Calmark cover. Care for the exterior gel coat. Don't skimp on the upgrades when you go to order, like buying the furnace. Sometimes people really want the furnace or the TV option, or the Anderson no sway weight distribution hitch. And also just keep in mind that factory installed is the best. This is Shasta Gypsy. Thank you for watching my video. I'm going to be doing more videos on the Spirit Deluxe bed conversion, product reviews, Casita news, and traveling and exploring Northern California. Please like and subscribe, and happy travels.